Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Guys, we're going to go right back to the Just for Today and a meditation, of course, right? That's what we do. This one's titled Emotional Balance. Emotional balance. Emotional balance is one of the first results of meditation, and our experience bears this out. Though each of us defines emotional balance a little differently, all of us must find it. Emotional balance can mean finding and maintaining a positive outlook on life, regardless of what may be happening around us. To some, it might mean an understanding of our emotions that allows us to respond, not react to our feelings. It can mean that we experience our feelings as intensely as we can while also moderating their excessive expression. Emotional balance comes with practice, prayer and meditation, and it comes with practice in prayer and meditation. We get quiet and share our thoughts and hopes and concerns with the God of our understanding. Then we listen for guidance, awaiting the power to act in that direction. Eventually, our skills in maintaining near balance get better, and the wild up and down emotional swings we used to experience begin to settle down. We develop an ability to let others feel their feelings. We have no need to judge them, and we fully embrace our own personal range of emotions. And the affirmation is, just for today, through regular prayer and meditation, I will discover what emotional balance means to me. Guys, if there's anything, I think I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll probably say it another 1,000. If there's anything I suggest you try, it's prayer and meditation. They are literally my two favorite things. They're the two things I will not start my day without, and they were the last two things I do every day as I go to bed. They've made all the difference in the world. It's beyond description. The power you find in that, guys. You become part of the solution. It's where you develop your conscious contact relationship with the God of your understanding, or your higher power, whatever you choose to call it. It's where you start to learn how to settle your mind. It's a great way to start to get introspective, and it's where I've come up with every step that I've taken through this recovery that's gotten me where I am today. And I mean, not that I'm, I don't mean to say that like I'm some, president and CEO of some corporation. But what I am is happy with my life, happy with the person that I'm becoming, happy with the things that I do every day, shocked by the success that I'm finding in early recovery. Slowly coming up on 8.5 months. So another couple of weeks, I'll have 9 months, and not that I'm rushing it, because again, I could screw up tomorrow and throw the whole thing away, but I have no intention of doing that. And I know, so long as I maintain my recovery program, that I don't have to worry about that. That's the beauty of these things, guys. We always want to keep in mind that we're only one bad decision from going backwards, but that doesn't mean you dwell on that and you worry about that. And the way I keep that from happening, and I think the easiest tool for all of us, and it's, guys, one thing I find, prayer meditation, obviously, and it's the one thing I find every single person that's doing really well has developed some form, or one form or another. And there's many different forms of prayer and meditation. You got to find the one that works for you. I know in the past, one thing when I was in about 7 years ago, when I had the last decent run I had, because I turned myself into jail, and I went through jail and a holding and then a halfway house. I was trying, guys, but the problem was I hadn't surrendered, and I hadn't found complete willingness. But I thought, well, yeah, I was coming off the 3.5 years homeless, so I mean, I had a little more desire than I normally would. So I wanted to get into it, but I was just going through the motions, and I wasn't bought in. I mean, the difference is surrender. This time around, I fully surrendered. I understood that I needed everything. At that point, I still thought I, kind of had this, and I thought I was, because I'd gone from the low of being homeless and having not just, I mean, guys, if you can just imagine the horrors that go along with living on the streets, it took so much from me. It was the first time I'd ever been shooting drugs intravenously. So when I got into that early recovery, I immediately got a job and started making money, and so I thought I was good. I'm like, okay, see, that was a fluke. That was just me being mad at my family, da 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 da. I still thought I had it. So when I would go to try and quiet my mind for meditation, I couldn't. Like, I literally would just sit there and listen to the meditation, just letting my mind race the way it would. And I didn't understand. So therefore, I got no value out of the meditation. This time around, all I do is I just take the suggestions as follows. So if you're new to meditation, I would strongly suggest guided meditations. I still do guided meditations quite often. And I also do, some just meditation with meditation music behind it, I took my time to get into that because I found much more value in good guided meditations. And I like to, and again, early on, do like 10, 15-minute meditations till you get into it. I started out by doing them at night when I was laying down to go to bed, and I would just fall asleep to them. But I'd put on like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Now I listen to like 8-hour meditations and subliminals, every night, and I love them. And it's amazing the value I get out of them. I don't always notice it immediately following. It's not some like light bulb moment, but what I notice is a calmness, an ability to handle stress. And what I do notice is when I always use the example of somebody cutting me off because it happens so much here in the city, guys. I notice that my first reaction is and then immediately I catch myself like, no need, there's no need, I've done it, what's the point, what's going to come of it? I find myself like thinking of the reactions. Oh, well, what am I going to just step on the gas and there'll be a cop around the corner and I'm going to get pulled over, and because this guy cut me off, I'm going to get a ticket, or possibly worse, get in trouble? I'm like, no one stops you from that. So I notice, I'm like, wow, these are the things that I'm getting from regular prayer and meditation. So I've started doing it more and more and more. Now I find myself doing it like if I get to, like, say, 2 days ago I got to the supply house and my order wasn't ready yet, and I had to wait until it's going to be about half hour if you want to go have lunch, and I had already eaten. So I went up to my truck and I threw a meditation on, and it went by in the blink of an eye. I was talking about it yesterday in my Tai Chi class now. When I start my Tai Chi class, I don't intentionally go. I didn't plan on like trying to meditate my way through it, but I find because part of meditation is you focus on your breathing. When you find your mind racing, and when you find intrusive thoughts coming in, you just focus on your breathing to get back to center. And so immediately as I go and start doing my Tai Chi now, Tai Chi you work with breath work as well. So as soon as I start regulating my breathing, I go into that meditative state, and next thing you know, the half-hour workout's gone, and I feel great. I'm already noticing the fluid emotion, the better limberness I have. It's great, guys, and it's working the program. But I'm telling you, the two biggest tools, the most value, two of the more valuable tools that I use are prayer and meditation. Prayer, of course, is a form of meditation, and that is where I have my conversations with the God of my understanding, God. And it's where I speak my concerns. And so oftentimes, guys, it's just a matter of hearing myself thinking out loud and paying attention to it, that I see whether I'm going down a good path or whether that's something I need to work on. And if it's something I need to work on, I just focus on it, and I find myself developing, the answers that I need. Often I will pray and then I will meditate afterwards, particularly at night. This is how I go to bed every night, and I get my answers. It's amazing. And the thing is, guys, in the beginning it was like I would pray and meditate about the same thing repeatedly, and it took longer to get the answers. But always like an intuitive idea would come to me, and sometimes 2 or 3, and I would try all of them to see what made the most sense, because you don't always know. If it's something you've never done before, you don't necessarily know what the outcome's going to be until you try it. And if you got multiple ideas, try them all. But it's been amazing to me. It has completely and utterly changed everything in my life for the better. And it starts with me. That's what I needed. What I needed to fix this time around wasn't people, places, or things. It was myself. I understood that it was my sideways thinking, my sideways behavior, my constant cutting of corners, and just thinking that I can exclude myself from what normal people do. And then I wonder why I can't be a normal person, right? All these answers have come to me through prayer and meditation. And then I've turned around, and the beauty of it is I'm so bought in that I immediately apply these things to my life, at least to the best of my ability. Sometimes it takes multiple times. But the beauty of it is, guys, as you do it more and more, it becomes easier, and it becomes just your baseline. It becomes your norm. And then as you do that, it starts to make huge. It makes any areas that you're not doing the best you could, or any areas that aren't for your highest good, slowly, little by little, little by slow, over time, you'll start to notice these things. So something that you would think is perfectly normal today, as you start to get heavily into prayer and meditation, you start stepping up in other areas of your life, suddenly you'll find answers, and you'll find better opportunities. So even the situations that you think are good in your life can be better as you become better, as you expand your mind, and you expand your world, and you expand your knowledge and your spiritual strength. Then all of a sudden you'll get more opportunities to live better in so many different areas. Like in my early days in recovery, if you told me that I had to suddenly change everything I ate, and just the totality of the program that I work today, it would have been way too much. So I started with the important thing: developing my relationship with God, working on what mattered to me, what I wanted my life to look like, finding out where my thinking was broken, and where my attitude and my actions led me into trouble. So I started working on those things, and as I started to get answers for those, I understood, okay, well, I needed to cut out the people, places, and things that I used to hang around with, not blame any of them. And that was the difference, guys. Before, it was just a matter of blaming everybody around me and then not changing anything within me. This time around, I changed everything within me, walked away from the people, places, and things, but didn't put any blame on them, because it doesn't matter. Yes, a lot of people were taking advantage, but it's because I gave them the opportunity to take advantage, and none of that matters. If I sit here and concern myself with blaming somebody else, that doesn't help me get to where I need to be. But when I look at my accountability in it, when I look at my actions that allowed people to take advantage of me, well, now I can correct those things, and I can I can try something different, and that's what I've done. And little by slow, everything has changed. Now, all of a sudden, some of them held on tight because I was doing a lot of, I was taking a lot of weight off other people's shoulders unnecessarily at no behest for myself. So little by little, as I shut those things down and I changed, those people were trying hard, and they'd sometimes through trying to offer a better percentage of the reward, or more money per hour, or just whatever. And when that wouldn't work, they would try and guilt trip you. So you got to be careful of that, guys. You got to but that's the thing. I learned how to put up boundaries in prayer and meditation, and understanding that which isn't for my highest good doesn't need to be here. And not, that in the beginning I had to be very selfish, and always I have to be selfish insofar as that I need to do for myself first, understanding that the more I do for myself, the more I'm capable of doing for others. The important part there is, as you fill your cup, don't forget to go and help others, and that's something I like to do every day. I go out of my way to, do these videos to share lessons as much as I get stuff out of myself. Believe me, guys, this channel, first and foremost, it keeps me sober, keeps me thriving, and it keeps me challenging myself to be a better person, and then helps other people. And that's a perfect example of the rewards and the changes you get through prayer and meditation. I'm not saying you have to go out and share your story with strangers, and not everybody has the openness that I do. That's okay, as long as you share it with somebody, whether it's a trusted professional, a sponsor, or somebody in a group, a family, loved one, friend, whatever. But you want to at least have one person in your life who you're capable of being completely open and honest. Because, guys, sometimes we need to bounce our thoughts and our feelings off of other people to find out whether or not we're putting two and two together and coming up with four instead of coming up with seven. And not picking on anybody. We all, particularly after the constraints of addiction, we're not always coherent in the beginning. It's funny because I would have swore that I was the day I left rehab. I thought because I was so much better off than I had been a month before, but I was still so far backwards. Like, I look at it now, and the growth that I've experienced over these last 8 months is beautiful. So now, but here's the thing: through prayer and meditation, at any other point in my life, I'd have sit here now and said, but now I've got it. Now I've learned so much. I've learned everything there is to learn. I can go out and, I can guide everybody else. And that's true. So I've learned a lot. But I understand. I've just scratched the surface. Like, I will continue. There's no end to the abundance of information that we're able to learn and apply to our lives. And so long as we continue to seek it every day, then we're going to continue to expand and reap the benefits of learning. And there's always benefits to learning, guys. Knowledge is power. And you want to have as much power as you can, but you don't want to go out and impose that power upon anybody else. That's the real power, guys. I love the quiet respect that I command today, because I'm not out there trying to impose or impress anybody, but I get it constantly. Again, today I was working at my garage, and the guy that rents the garage next to us is a contractor I used to do a lot of work with. I still do some repair work with them, and I've seen him a few times in recovery. I've done a couple of jobs for him, but I haven't seen him in probably last 2 or 3 months. And he pulled up today to get into his garage. So I was working mine, came up, gave me a hug, and again, it's like, Jesus Christ, look at you. It's like, you're just getting, talking about how much weight I put on, how much stronger I look, how much healthier I am. And we just, talked, and we had a great laugh, and it's just that quiet respect that I get constantly. If I don't see somebody for a month, they're like, wow, but that's the thing, guys. It's because I continue to work my program. I didn't get to a point and say, okay. And that's what I've always done in the past. Like, as soon as I got the job back and I got the apartment back, I would let my program go, thinking I had to go engage with my life, not keep recovery an ongoing thing. Recovery is a lifestyle, not a destination, guys. Prayer and meditation is a lifestyle. It's not a tool that you use once to get yourself in the door, at least not if you want to continue to make positive changes in your life. It is a tool that you use daily or weekly, or whatever your program may look like. The more the better, honestly, in my opinion. These are the lessons that have saved my life, changed my life, and given me a life that's actually worth living. So I'm not willing to pick and choose which ones I want to continue doing, which ones I don't, because I want to continue to just get better and better and better. And I love being on the fast track. I love seeing that I can continuously step up and continue to get better and better. Guys, my 5-year plan is to be a millionaire, and I guarantee I'm going to do it in a lot less than 5, and that's beautiful. For once in my life, it's not a pipe dream. It's when I look at the evidence of what's happened in 8 months, and the compounding factor of how much quicker it's getting every month, it's absolutely beautiful. I understand now that there's truly nothing that I can't do. And now that I'm stabilized and I'm starting to go out and expand, I'm believing in myself, and I understand that through prayer and meditation, I keep the desire to follow through, guys. And you hear me say these certain things quite often. Respond, don't react. Be intentional. Be introspective. Pay attention to what you're doing, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, guys. When you're feeling good, it glows. Like everything just, you find that flow state and things go better for you, right? When you're happy with your thoughts. And again, it doesn't mean you're not gonna have a bad day or a bad minute, but here's the thing: the more you pray and the more you meditate, the faster you'll notice that you're having a bad day, and the quicker you'll find ways to control, stop, and change that. Doesn't matter what happens in my life today. Like, I understand that life's gonna happen. I'm gonna deal with good things, bad things, depressing things, exciting things, but I'm able to keep an even keel. And the most important thing I can do for myself right now is to show up in the same energy so I can learn consistency. And people can see that I'm stabilized and consistent, and that makes them more comfortable offering me more things. Guys, getting a little bit long. We're going to leave it at that. Everybody, thank you so very much for being here. It means the absolute world to me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.